Lucian game, because the Bvoy Lucian game is the game at Shopify 1, and there's not a lot of champions that can do what Lucian does. Probably just Lucian.
Yeah,
but Corki's got burst damage, but it's more like, oh, we rocket poke first, and then, oh, if I can hit you with a Frost Bomb, that's way slower, way shorter range. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see Corki as that style of champion. Obviously, Lucian is Lucian, and it's kind of its own unique thing. But you know, when I think of the hyper carry 1v9 takeover game type champions, it usually is not Corki. Of course, it can be any champion, if you can find those angles. But one thing Corki does do really well is play that 2v2. You can play aggressive lanes. You can look to try to dominate. They are going to be going up against Xayah Rakan, which can be weak against poke. So it'll be interesting to see, do they want to go towards a range support, or are they going to go engage anyway? If they lock in the Leona, I do think it becomes obviously a lot harder to kind of play for that range, but they want that primary engage, and Seos is going to go for it.
People, a lot of supports used to actually talk about liking Rakan's side as soon as you get tenacity, and then you feel actually pretty good versus the Leona, being able to move around so quickly and set up engages on your terms as well. So we'll see.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, pre-tenacity, the idea is always you can lock them down and burst them down, right? But can be hard, I think, sometimes playing against these matchups, if you're not going to be able to outrange.
Jungle and mid remains to be chosen still for both of these teams. And I think if you're Shopify Rebellion, you got to be wanting to save 5th pick for mid. You got to give Palafox comfort. You got to give him the best possible chance to perform in this game to try to bounce back from some of the weaker performances earlier on today. They are going to go ahead, ban out that Cassiopeia. They don't want to be dealing with that, which tells me they're probably going to want to be picking some choices that are go forward, go in, everybody dive, because Cassiopeia is really good against that.
Well, I mean, almost everything that Palafox has played is off the table, right? We're getting deeper into Fearless here, and Annie, Ori, Victor, Talia, Yone, Cassio, all off the table. The only thing he's played this whole split that is up and available is LeBlanc, right? And that was a very situational pick. He did it into the Ziggs. So I'm curious to see where he is going to take us. Will it be towards, some of the melee champs that we have seen a lot more of, things like the Sylas and the Akali and that sort of style, or is he going to go a little bit outside of that and go towards some of the less typical, kind of mages, things like Syndra and so on? There are options, but just nothing that we've seen from him so far this split.
Yeah, I mean, similar for Quad too, because he hasn't played. He's played very similar champions and not quite as many. The Syndra is one of them. Stuff like the Hwei and stuff as well. Get a little deeper down, like the tier 2 of the control mages. And I'm still kind of thinking that for FlyQuest for Quad, because Quad always does seem like really comfortable when he is on some sort of late game carry control mage style champion, but there's the Hwei. Might not be an option for him if it gets taken away this early. So there you go, and that's kind of the thinking. Just get down to the similar things, but just the tier 2 version of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're looking at pro play, the other picks that are kind of still up and available and have some play would be the Ahri, the Akali, and then you're into Syndra and things that are really becoming a lot less common as you're kind of going down that list. So we'll have to see where he wants to go. They obviously do need some sort of consistent magic damage coming from the mid lane. I do think Syndra fits the bill. If you want to go long range, there are other options, things like Mel, but definitely not very common. And so it is going to be Syndra. And then the question is, do you have a strong jungle pairing to go with it? I always like Viego Syndra. When you think about like Annie Viego, that's a really strong combo. I've always felt like Syndra pairs really well with Viego also because it's so much about the upfront burst and getting that first reset. That can really be quite synergistic. But there are still a lot of AD jungle options. You don't have to go that route. Things like Jarvan are up and available. Doklo was saying he was playing it in scrims.
So he's been spamming solo queue too. So I actually was trying to copy his runes and stuff because looking at other junglers. But Inspire's been playing a ton of Tryndamere, and he really likes carrying with it in solo queue in addition to scrims. So we are gonna get to see it here on the Rift. I'm actually so excited because I wasn't on that cast where they banned it out, and I was so sad. So now we actually get to see him pilot it. Let's see, inspired jungle Tryndamere. Will this game be the game that now floods all of your solo queues with a bunch of jungle Tryndameres?
It might. I mean, this is really spicy. I'm looking through the jungle picks. I don't see a single Tryndamere in pro play, this split globally. So I'm not seeing anything. Maybe I'm missing it, but it's looking like no one has played it yet globally in the jungle. So this is going to be a first. You know, it is one of those power farming junglers. I'm excited to see how he plays it. You sound like you've kind of done a little bit of studying on this pick for your own solo
I haven't actually tried to play it because even my Flex Q team was like, how about later?
How about later?
So I went to go look at him, and then they're like, how about, you know, play with Volley Bear. How about that?
I'm excited to see it. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while. I have in the past seen people play it, but they've always just seen them play that like hard farming style where they're just power farming and then looking to do like stuff more like split push, which does not feel like pro at all. Right. So I'm really curious to see how he actually wants to play it out.
Yeah, I mean, and it is a lot of farming. So I want to see how he like steals away camps, because you can also go very aggressive. He's playing versus Skarner over here, so his
tempo too.
His 1v1 is very, very good. So how efficient can you be with your pathing, and how many camps can you steal away?
All right, that's the question here. We'll see if the best jungler in the Western Hemisphere can make a strong first impression here with that jungle Tryndamere. If there's anybody that I trust to do it, it's got to be Inspired, man.
Yeah, and Contractz, he's respecting it. He puts in the chat, that's respect, when he locked it in. And Inspired immediately goes, try it. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, Inspired really loves this pick. Like, he has played a ton of it in solo queue. And yeah, as you're saying, Fudge says also in scrims. So let's watch the magic unfold.
This is going to be a fun one. It's definitely getting into the wacky stages. So many of the meta champions getting banned out. And of course, we are in game 4 here of Fearless. And this is one of the places that I always really favor FlyQuest, because I do feel like they have such a deep bag of tricks to pull from. There are a lot of players that can play kind of every different style and have the confidence to bring out picks like this. I mean, we've seen Inspired do it on the biggest possible stage, playing against Gen G, bringing out Nunu, and winning games like that. So I think it's always something where I've given them the edge.
Well, we'll have to see how it rates on the late Fearless scale of Nunu to Zillion, because you definitely want it on the Nunu side.
Man.
So
I'm sorry I had to bring you back there.
Our stats team just hit me up. So this is, as far as they can see, the third ever Tryndamere jungle in Pro Play.
In the history of the world!
In the history of the world.
When were the last
three?
ones?
I want to know who the 3 are then.
Yeah.
Or who the 2 are, the other 2.
I think they were trying to tell me, but you guys were talking at the same time. I couldn't hear that part.
Oh, okay. Whoops. We accidentally yapped too much. Shopify Rebellion, they're going in nice and early here. They want to use those summoner spells aggressively, but now they got to be careful because Massu is firing right on back.
So both of them were played in Latin America, one in 2013 and one in 2020. I'm not sure of the player, but it'd be funny if it was the same player 7 years apart. He's like, I'm bringing it back. I've been waiting. This is the time.
I mean, and that's actually such a cool story for Inspired. If he makes this work, like this could become an iconic thing for him, you know, whoever the other player is.
It was Hoagie and Hacker V2 were the 2.
Oh, Hacker V2!
Yeah.
He plays a lot on NA solo queue, actually.
There you go. Those are your 2 players. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, this is someone who can make a name for himself on the pick. We'll see how it performs. These are one of these picks where it's going to be so results-based. If he wins, everyone's like, it's the greatest pick ever, he's a genius. And if it loses, everyone is going to be roasting the pick. So we'll see how he performs, but so far, so
I'll
good.
roast his teammates, don't worry.
Okay.
It's not the jungler's fault, buddy. Never the jungle's fault.
Well, hey, guys, Creamy Bigums said that that's Tryndamere jungle.
I cannot believe you just read that name.
I believe it. Wait.
That's crazy.
You know what you're talking to. As soon as he saw that name, his eyes lit up, and he's like,
you should have seen the smile on his face when he's saying it too. That's some criminal behavior.
Hey man, you guys, we had our conversations before the games earlier today. I'm just pointing out what the fans are saying about the Tryndamere.
The man of the people.
It was one of those things where he saw the name come up on screen. As soon as he saw it, he stopped listening to anything you were saying.
Oh yeah, he was checked out.
He stopped listening to anything you're saying. He's like, I'll just wait for my turn.
Creamy Bigums is talking. We gotta lock in.
Everybody listen up.
We got some important information in the chat
when
right
Creamy
now.
speaks, Clayton listens.
All right, Contractz is going down bottom here, looking for maybe some early action. Will need to wait off the cooldown on his Ishtal impact, I would have to think. So sits in this bush here for about 10 seconds as Massu and Busio keep pushing up. That ward is not going to spy Contractz because he used the early E to tunnel through the Dragon Wall. So now Seos is going to step forward, Bvoy right behind him as Contractz shows. Grand Entrance catches Busio as Massu gets slammed back into the wall. That's double summoner spells for the FlyQuest AD carry spent.
Okay, patience there from Contractz, sitting in that tri-bush for quite a long time. They end up going for it, and they are rewarded with double summoner spells. But here comes the Tryndamere just to make sure there's no second play. Now he can go into his second clear. Again, you want to be efficient. You got to get your farm on Tryndamere. You cannot be a low economy Tryndamere player.
No, not a lot of utility.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't.
Chicken shout doesn't count.
That's chicken shout. That gives you a little bit of a slow. The attack damage debuff on it too.
What build are we expecting?
Well, the problem is too with the chicken shout. If you're underfed, they don't even run from you. So they don't even get the chicken. They just stare at you, and they just run.
You're just a crazy guy yelling.
Yeah.
Bring it on, bro! And it's like, yeah, I am. Man, what are you talking about? I'm walking right at you.
Exactly. Okay, so epic second clear here. Maybe we check in with Creamy Bigums and see what he thinks so far.
What do you think he's gonna build? We're gonna check in with you.
We're gonna check in with you.
I think he's definitely.
You were saying you were checking his match history.
Yeah,
right?
I checked the runes.
You didn't get that far.
My friends were like, "Don't even play it," so I was like, oh, "Okay, fine,
all right.
But I mean, I would have. There's two routes. You can either go for a Hydra build first and then go into crit, or you just go crit from the beginning. I think we go Tiamat and go into like some sort of Hydra item, some Ravenous or something.
Well, I was watching a little bit of...
Hasn't played it in the last 2 weeks, but at least on this one that I can
Go deeper, go deeper.
We're going deeper. We're investigating. At least one of us has to watch CaptainFlowers. Stop looking over here.
I was watching...
Pay attention, Flowers.
I was watching Fog for the Win stream this morning, literally, who's a Challenger Tryndamere player here in North America, and he was building lethality. He went Profane Hydra first item.
Ooh,
because of the extra damage, the burst that you can get with the active, and then it's also going to hyper-accelerate your clear. So I wouldn't be super surprised to see some lethality thrown in there, but he does go for the recurve bow after the 2 longsword start.
So they also just greatly reduced the price of Profane Hydra.
Yeah.
So that thing, the stocks on that thing went way up because the price reduction, well, Contractz and Sales take the crab here. Looks like they do at least deny the Tryndamere that. A little bit of Tryndamere farm denied. Yeah, the Profane Hydra did get a very sizable buff recently.
And you can tell that Inspired is a true Tryndamere consumer because of the fact that he's using the Sultan Tryndamere skin. I remember this is one of the first skins that I read about back in the day where players felt like the auto attack animation on Sultan Tryndamere felt cleaner. It felt easier to control with like your auto attack cancels. As Busio and Massu are once again going to be in some danger. Shopify ready from another play, and it's first blood over to Bvoy. Contractz follows it up with the ulti. So now that's 2 kills for Shopify Rebellion.
There you go. That is going to go a long way. Inspired finishes up his Krugs as they do it, but so much value here from this Skarner. The ganks on bottom side are really paying off. They return, and they get paid this time.
Nicely played by Shopify, returning to the scene of the crime from the original gank, making sure that they're trying to accelerate the Corki. Get the man who carried your 1 win so far fed again.
I will say, too, Quad on the Syndra is doing really well. It hasn't been on screen a whole lot, but he's doing really well in the mid lane 1v1 yet again.
So he's going Kraken mostly, it looks like. Kraken and just like crit. It's looking like IE.
Yeah, the Flicker Blade second. That was it. Okay, so Kraken into Flicker Blade.
Has a few different builds, though.
Yeah.
He's got some Yuntal into Flicker Blades, too, so we'll see. He's experimenting. He's branching out.
We'll pay attention to it as the game goes on and see what method he wants to embrace this game, as those grubs have now spawned. 8 minutes on the clock means one jungle or the other one is always here as soon as these 3 rear their ugly face.
Yeah. I mean, Kraken was buffed, was it like 3 patches ago now?
Yeah.
Very, very heavily buffed, so I think for sure that is a great first item. And then the Flicker Blade second sounds really interesting for Tryndamere.
It's just the constant, you turn into a Beyblade, right? Yeah. It's just constantly spinning, spin in, hit,
and lots of chickens, too.
yeah, exactly. There's just
lots of chicken shouts.
Chickens everywhere. As now Bwipo next to Inspired here as they move back into the grub pit. They did want to back off after securing that first one just because they didn't know how much Shopify was going to send. But now that they see the opportunity, they can easily kill off all 3 of these. Couple more bonks on the head with that gigantic 200-pound sword, and the grubs are all cleaned up. I feel like having 3 grubs on a team with Tryndamere and Sion feels pretty good.
But Tryndamere is going to be playing into a lot of CC. So we've been so focused on this jungle Tryndamere, but you have to play into Skarner. So you're going to have to worry about all the CC Skarner has, as well as the Leona.
And the Hwei fear.
And he just follows it up there with Hwei combination. So there's a lot of stuff that can make it hard to play the melee carry in this game. So maybe it'll be a good test.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely will. It's going to be so interesting. You know, it really makes me think back to almost like the Feral Flare days where we even saw in pro play some people would split push. And I do wonder, I mean, maybe I'm cooking way too hard and he's just going to play standard and group and fight. But like, if you were playing in a game where you wanted to split push in pro play, playing with a Sion would make sense, right? Sion farms to a certain point, and then maybe Sion just kind of starts grouping, and you go to the side lane and start picking up more farm. I don't know if we're going to see anything like that, but could be his idea of how to potentially dodge some of that CC is just don't show up for the 5v5s that much. Look for side lane plays, look to constantly invade, look for smaller scale skirmishes where maybe it's not as big of an issue, because I tend to agree it looks really hard to get a lot of value in the 5v5.
So far, if this was a solo queue game, everybody would be flaming the jungle Tryndamere, because Skarner has accomplished more.
And he has the same farm.
And he's got his Heartsteel fully completed. So Contractz off to a great start here, 10 minutes into this one, as we'll see Bwipo claim the first turret plate down here in bottom lane. And considering he has that control over this part of the map, it means it's easy to walk on over, help Inspired to take this first Drake. They're not doing it exceptionally quickly, but with the push they had in bottom, the push they have in mid right now as Massu and Busio, or not Massu and Busio, excuse me, it's Quad and Busio taking care of that one right now as Massu is set up to be the lone man top side. And Shopify might have something to say about that. Seos and Contractz both coming up here alongside Bvoy. Massu could be in some danger as Busio takes a blast cone over the wall. He will see Contractz there. Quad now also ready to move over, but again, this Skarner is a big old wall of health right now.
Yeah, going to be very hard to fight through him. Seos still has not been spotted in this location. Contract's going to look.
Yeah, there we go. That's the slam they need. Busio takes a ton of damage, but he's not dead yet. Bvoy wasn't there in time, but now a very nice grab of Massu. Forces out the Featherstorm as well as he flashes back away for the three-man route. Bvoy and the rest of Shopify Rebellion having to flash back over the wall now as Inspired will use the Endless Rage to escape in time. He spins out of the way of the Severing Bolt, so Palafox can't get the kill.
I'm not sure if Massu lost vision there or what happened, but I was very surprised that Contractz was able to get the ult onto him without Massu reactively ulting that, and I felt like that really turned the fight, because to me it looked like it was a position where FlyQuest could potentially slam that fight. If he can just Featherstorm the Skarner ult and then be full health and not in a bad spot, constantly auto-attacking, it looked like they were set up for success.
Yeah, we're going to have to take another look at that one, because it did cost a lot of summoner spells. When Quad rotated over, it ended up costing Quad his summoner spell too, and he was doing really well in the 1v1. So here's our initiation onto the Rakan. They spend a lot of CC layering onto Busio here. Yeah, and the second part there right over the wall.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know if he lost vision in the bush or just didn't see it coming out, but either way, wasn't able to react, and at the end of the day, then he has to flash out with the ulti, and in this time, when you have Inspired in there, that's kind of tanking it up, Massu's not able to hit, Busio wasn't able to go back in, and it even means Quad has to flash out, so definitely a good play, I feel like, for Shopify.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had vision because his teammates were right there, so.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Just maybe the edge of it, he thought, oh, it probably won't have the range or something.
Well, lots of flashes spent for both sides as everybody on Shopify flashed over the wall. That was all three flashes when Quad showed up. But then, like you guys mentioned, it's the flashes on both of the carries for FlyQuest too. So could have some consequences here in 2 minutes for the Herald fight whenever that finally spawns. Bwipo there with a bit of an oopsie ult. Wanted to try to trap Fudge underneath the turret for some snappy burst damage as the minion wave faded away, but doesn't quite hit him.
Yeah, and I think what he's exactly trying to do there is if you interrupt him in mid-jump and you clear out the wave at the same time, maybe you can force the flash or potentially threaten that solo kill.
And Quad now wants to step out of the way of the Impale, but he can't quite clear it, which means Busio has to ult defensively, trying to save his mid laner. Now Palafox is dead as Inspired arrives to the fight, and Seos might just be the next one to go. Inspired and Quad do so much damage, and jungle Tryndamere just got paid.
Okay, Kraken Slayer's done, and he immediately, there's a skirmish in mid lane where he gets to go follow in, flash. He got the first kill on Palafox with just 2 autos, and then follows it up with another kill.
Ooh, we got some information from LS here, gentlemen. The build will be Kraken Slayer, Navori, Last Whisper item, and then GA. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate the insight. And we'll see how quickly Inspired can start this snowball rolling, because 2 early kills feels great.
It's rolled up. It's like halfway forward.
He's playing Nunu after all.
And he's got a big arm, so he's good at rolling.
But only one. The other arm, much more regularly sized.
The other arm, we don't need to talk about that, you know?
Yeah, it's only got one source.
You use the right angles for the pictures, you know? Just
Right angle, right arm.
All right, well, he's in a great spot now, and we'll see if he can continue to be. Also worth noting that it was a Dead Man's Rush for Bwipo, which is some tech that people like kind of on some of these tanks into range matchups, but it does mean he's not going to be going Titanic at least first item. So he did go towards Cole, grabs that Dead Man's, has been getting pushed in by Fudge, who is in a good spot, has the early Triforce completed, and that is definitely a point of power for them. But Quad quietly has opened up again a very big CS advantage. It's nearly 30 CS in that mid lane over Palafox, and Palafox is, again, continuing those struggles that he's had so far in this series. Quad has absolutely shown up and is getting the best of him.
Shopify Rebellion want to control this topside river, this topside Scuttle Crab. With 5 seconds left until the Rift Herald spawns, they will smite that one down, but now they back away a little bit. They're going to need Contractz to smite back. They want to try to attempt the Herald anyway. Busio trying to hop out here with a grand entrance. Contractz does a little bit of damage to him. Sayo's nearby, but they do not want to commit too many resources onto just the support. Meanwhile, Fudge winning in the 1v1 against Bwipo down here in the bottom lane, but it's not a 1v1 for much longer. Inspired arrives in bottom side, and the decimating smash keeps the Gnar locked up. Inspired will guarantee the feat of warfare here. That's 3 kills for the Tryndamere.
I've seen enough. It's look good. Flex Q team, you hear me? I'm going to play it now.
Kobe's Flex Q team frantically scrambling to try to
now I've got
figure out how to deal
on
with
top
this.
of the runes. And I've seen that the team needs to set me up for a lot of kills.
Yeah,
so
you just walk into the lane and get the free kills.
If it doesn't work, it's actually going to be their fault.
Yeah,
not my fault.
Exactly. You just spin into the lane and get the free kill. You saw Inspired do it.
They're preemptively blaming team. This feels very Tryndamere coded. You're
also,
in the right mindset.
He does take gold with his solo laners when they take towers. Remember that too. I'm going to be sharing that gold.
There you go. Yeah, smiting cannons, sharing gold.
Spin through the lane,
sharing, by the way. Not stealing, not pilfering, not robbing.
He's doing a lot of damage to the tower, okay? So he's earning
sharing.
He's earning it.
Yep.
Okay, we've got the next dragon spawn. FlyQuest have already earned the first one. Fudge teleported in there, but that Drake is gone. Now Fudge might have to be a little bit careful about Inspired as Ishtal's impact from Contractz arrives. Inspired pops the ulti nice and early there. Does not want to get caught unawares. Busio shows up to try to help get him out of there, but Inspired is already gone. Meanwhile, Massu and Bwipo dealing with the rest of Shopify Rebellion as Busio flashes over the wall with a quickness. There's no way. The battle dance, and he sidesteps the severing bolt. Busio with about 10 HP walks it off.
That's a tilter. When you're losing a game and they get away like that, that is crazy. And meanwhile, Quad is just split pushing in top lane here, getting paid. Won't be able to finish it off. Doesn't feel confident to fully stay around, but now goes back and is working on it. This thing might just die. It looks like it's 1 or 2 more autos. He could have finished it if he immediately stayed, the first time didn't actually back up, but it's going to go down probably on this next wave with the cannon as long as he's getting coverage, and he is. You can see Sion moving up.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to make sure President Quad gets paid once again.
Campaign donation right there.
Bwipo will take over duties up here. But, okay, so everybody note the time of day, and we'll take a look at the Tryndamere increase in play rate and solo queue here.
4 p.m. It is just after 4 p.m.
Yeah, PST.
Yeah,
Sunday.
PST.
We'll see about that spike in play rate and drop in win rate.
Because that's always a new, when something new comes along, that win rate is going down, because I don't think most people are going to bother doing the research, Kobe. They're just going to lock it in and start to spin.
Now is where it's going to be real fun, though, because the Flicker Blade is done. So we get to see the cooldowns being lowered in a real time, and it looks like they want to fight mid.
Okay, Bwipo's going to be the front line for that, as he just makes sure that Bvoy doesn't want to move up there and try to trade aggressively with Massu. Massu just very slightly under the EXP threshold for level 11. Bvoy already there means the poke from those rockets hurts an awful lot. Does have his Trinity Force still stacking towards that tier for the Manamune Muramana conversion. And all right, looks like we won't get a whole lot more right now.
And you can see Busio already has the Mikhails done. This guy has got to have like the highest Mikhails rush rate of any support. Like he is always going for it, it feels like. And is going to have that for his team. Not only do you have cleanse on Massu, he's going to be able to have this to remove Leona ults, which are going to be pretty critical for those engages. Obviously, he can use it on Skarner stun, Gnar stun, etc. as well. But I do think it's going to make engaging a lot more difficult for Xayah.
You're never sad to see your support have Mikhails, right? Like, it's just such a powerful
certain elo
item.
you are, because they're not going to press it.
Okay, all right, fine. I guess if we're playing in Iron 2 or something, you're probably just wishing that he bought a Bloodthirster.
But that's teammates that are higher than that. They're not pressing that button.
All right. Sounds like you want to name names.
Yeah, you're seem like you're moving that way.
Azael's gonna burn some bridges today.
Yeah, man. It's
all right,
getting a little hot in here.
First, it starts with.
I mean, yeah, but the point is, sometimes you see your support by Mikhails, and it just means they're gonna die more.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
We'll see about this game, though. We are getting a rotation up to the top side here for Shopify, but it was over wards, so FlyQuest are working with information here.
Yeah. It is feeling like one of these games that is just, I don't know. I mean, not a lot of actual fights, not a lot of kills, but FlyQuest are kind of just running them around the map, right? They're always pushing in the side lane. Every time you look for Shopify to be doing something proactive, anytime they're grouped up, they're just losing damage to their towers. They're losing camps here. You can see this entire side of the jungle is getting pilfered. Well, that's also giving coverage for Quad to push in here. And the gold advantages on the top side of the map are really ballooning.
Okay, Otacon is spawned up here in the top lane. Bwipo just stalwartly defending this half HP turret. Does not want to give Shopify the opportunity to claim any of these. Try to work on building that gold lead back towards something playable as Bwipo, nice unstoppable for the interrupt there on Contractz. Also guarantees that he can then flash under the Impale and know that he's safe. Well played from Bwipo.
Yeah, I mean, that was just about perfect in the defense. There's 4 members on top side from Shopify. He ults the Ishtal's impact, interrupts that, flashes out from that ulti. And again, that means towers going down in mid lane. Palafox is going to get pushed back. They're trying to get something to happen on the other side of the map because they know they're bleeding out resources everywhere else. But Sion's a brick wall. They can't make a play happen on Bwipo.
Yeah, FlyQuest have been more focused on efficient play. Every time Shopify are going for chases and attempted plays on individual members, the FlyQuest members that are under attack are able to evade and outplay, and then the other ones just keep on farming, keep on pushing, and it has resulted in 3 towers being taken for FlyQuest to the 0 of Shopify, the constant pushing, and that is a tremendous amount of tower gold, not to mention more room to work with, and we're even seeing some of the split push from the Tryndamere now, where you get to pick up side waves as well, and Inspired, the farming are really taking off now.
Okay, it's almost a 4,000 gold lead for FlyQuest, and critically, it's a bunch of item completions that they're also ahead. You can see 2 fully completed items there for just about everybody. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's still first item and components for almost everyone. Quad finds a quick burst there onto Palafox, but now Contractz is swooping in to try to lock up the FlyQuest mid laner. Will not be able to do so, as FlyQuest tried to exfiltrate here, but Bwipo has arrived to try to help his team out. There's the Syndra ulti onto Fudge, who's staying alive for now. They've made their way onto Quad, but they can't quite kill him here just yet. Fudge needs more damage, and he won't find it. Now on the front line, Bwipo finds a 2-man decimating smash, and Massu is free firing. Flash out of the way of the ulti from Bvoy, but it's a triple kill to Inspired. It's a quadra kill to Inspired. In the jungle Tryndamere game, Inspired claims a Penta kill.
Who else but Inspired? And you could see he saw the angle when he gets the triple. They're already setting up for the Penta. Inspired comes in and Khalid's house a Penta and 4K in the bank still to spend.
Are you kidding me? Jungle Tryndamere comes out the 3rd of all time in pro play and gets a pentakill.
Just like that. That's how it's supposed to be played.
Okay. Lock it in, you get a penta. It's the matchup.
Yep, that's just the matchup. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Incredible. Observers, can we toggle the gold so we can see how much are in his pockets right now?
When I look, just about.
You had 4K?
In pocket?
Okay, here we go. Let's see the full item completion plus bonus parts. Okay, there we go. LDR.
1 shot to Lord Doms. Nice.
1 shot to Lord Doms, upgrades the boots, buys a cloth armor. Not a bad buy. That's my standard buy when I play Tryndamere.
Yeah, full LDR, upgrade boots, cloth armor for your GA, and it is exactly the build that LS said it was going to be.
The jungle path is go up towards Otacon, get a Penta, base, buy the LDR into bot side clear. Standard jungle path.
The LTA is scripted. You know, we literally were like...
We no longer can deny it.
Yeah, we first game.
Too much evidence.
Jungle Tryndamere, he's going to get a Penta, you know?
The writers are getting ridiculous.
That's how it goes.
I mean, come on. Let's keep it realistic here.
That's kind of crazy. Okay, but yeah, we can all play Jungle Tryndamere now. It's totally fine.
Yep. Soul Point now too. FlyQuest just taking everything off Summoner's Rift, and for Shopify, I don't really know what the win condition is at this point.
The win condition is you go to the lower bracket, and then you get back up from the lower bracket to try to play FlyQuest again, and you win in that series.
Okay, okay. It's a go next.
It is, yes.
Okay.
I do want to say, even though Inspired got the Penta last time, wait.
Quad could be in some serious danger here. He is all alone behind enemy lines. He tries to burst Palafox down, but he doesn't have enough damage to do it. Shutdown credit goes over to Bvoy. Inspired spins away from the Impale from Contractz. Shopify want to try to get some more out of this. They do get the one pick on Quad, but that's all it'll be for now.
Yeah, they're just going to get that one kill. Baron's going to be spawning here in 30. Obviously, no angle to go for that, I don't think. And FlyQuest is also on Soul Point, right? You know, they are working towards this Ocean Soul. We haven't talked about Sion at all, but they still have a Sion here
Just fight
with
together,
Ocean
guys.
Soul.
It's chill. You can just splash out the Quad.
Corki here.
Yeah.
There, Gnar is 1 HP.
Gnar
He
just
flashed in. He will in. Yeah, he will die. He'll die. Just play it slow, guys.
Yeah.
We win this fight. We kill everyone here, okay? They can't kill me. They can't kill me. Play your own game. I'm fine.
Corki no W has flash.
Penta!
Okay, looking for it.
You're
He
Penta,
flashed on Corki. He flashed on Corki.
Skirmishes behind.
I'm trying. I'm winging him. I'm winging him. Queuing him. Queuing him. Queuing him. Give me! Nice. Let's go, Rakan.
I mean, they called that Penta even earlier than
That was
me.
after 2 kills.
Yeah, I was calling it after the triple. They were calling it after the double.
Yeah. Well, he saw Corki, and the Corki was slowed, and he's like, oh, this is a dead Corki. I am getting a Penta right now. I will say, to me, an impressive part of that, too, was Quad.
The chicken shouting. No?
The chicken shouting was on point, actually. But Quad actually living the entire thing there. With the entire team, you know, teleporting on him, and they use Skarner ult and Leona ult at him.
Now, a lot of danger here for Contractz. Defensive Leona ult locks up Massu here. They're really trying to put some pressure onto the FlyQuest AD carry, but they're not getting a ton here just yet. Spiraling Despair on Bwipo as he flashes away. FlyQuest health bars are injured. Shopify looking for a little bit more. Decimating Smash to buy some space. Bwipo still frontlining, going to use the passive now as Inspired spins back in, but a nice Mega Gnar buys Fudge some additional time. Two-man ulti coming out from Contractz. Massu still staying alive, just barely. Xayah's drops. Bwipo ends up taking the kill on that one, but Massu has to continue disengaging further away from Bvoy. It's a trade of Bwipo for Xayah, but very low health bars on the FlyQuest side.
Are they just going to start Baron? I think you should. I mean, Inspired uses ult. He has to go back to base. He had no health. Yeah,
Yep.
This is insanely risky, but you're screwed otherwise. Go for it.
This has to be the only chance you have. This has to be the best chance you have. Palafox, Contractz, Bvoy, and Fudge all going to work together to try to take this down, but they don't do it exceptionally quickly. Quad on the Syndra going to need to run some interference here as Busio goes into the grand entrance, but he can't quite find it. Inspired has returned to the fray. He's ready to go in, but he will not steal it. Contractz secures the Baron. Now Fudge trying to get away back over the wall. No grand entrance hit means Fudge survives at 30 HP. Shopify Rebellion, they get the Baron, and they get everybody out alive.
Oh, that is huge. Contract smites have been very clutch. He does get that one. Inspired got in range at the Baron pit, and Shopify just hit the smite, and they get out. Even Fudge living with, like, what, 20 HP?
Yeah, I got to give Fudge a lot of credit because look at this replay. Okay, it's way, I was thinking of way earlier. This is just the smite and test, down to about 400, then it gets hit by an auto, then it was secured. But prior to that, you know, the more important fight was the one prior to the Baron to me, where Fudge just kind of took a 1v1 against Inspired, and we see him here living with 5 health. But we're back to live. They're fighting again.
Immediately, we're ready to go once more. Bvoy flashing away. Barrier also spent. The Corki with no summoner spells, but Contractz is ready to swoop in. Xayah has already engaged. Spiraling Despair once more onto Bwipo. Xayah's dropping incredibly low, and Quad's going to grab the first kill on him. Inspired approaches, lands a chicken shout, but nothing more. More roots onto Fudge through the feathers as he flashes back over the wall defensively. Shopify Rebellion have lost their support. FlyQuest is injured, but no one is dead. The Ocean Soul for them spawning in 30 seconds.
Okay, the Sion frontline is doing a lot. Bwipo is talking a lot while they get the kind of the counter kill there, though.
Yeah, but you can see Inspired is having difficulty getting into the fights. Even with this massive lead, he didn't see an angle to even go in there, right? He wasn't even really part of it. It was basically a 4v5 that FlyQuest were able to pull off, and he just goes down to bot lane, pushes that wave out. Now he's going back over towards the Dragon, which is spawning in 15, as Massu and the rest of the team is just playing for mid-prio.
Inspired's individual gold lead is greater than that of his team as a whole. Bvoy is almost 2,000 gold ahead in the AD carry position. If Shopify can play around this Corki, they still have a shot here.
Yeah, the Sion is just such a brick wall, though. Bwipo creates so much space with this unending despair, and he's locking up the front line now.
Okay, Contractz takes a little bit of damage. Not really too worried about it just yet. Fudge has a charged Gnar bar. Hanging around on the side of the fight, looking for his angle to maybe go in. Bwipo continuing to front line. Nice two-man scat of the week coming out from quad. Inspired stole away the enemy blue buff, and Xayah takes a ton of damage. The burst is there as Bwipo charges in with the ulti for the follow-up. Fudge can't get anywhere near the rest of the fight because Inspired soloing him out. Bvoy's already been killed. There goes the carry. There goes the fight. There goes the Dragon Soul. Shopify Rebellion. They lose the team fight, and the consequences are about to be nasty.
And Inspired just plays basically in a 1v1 on the side with Fudge while the rest of his team got all the work done in the 4v4. They win it without the help of this jungler who has a 4,000 gold lead. They don't even need him. Just able to make it happen with this Sion. Complete brick wall in the front line. And Quad landing some clutch scatters there. We just couldn't see the engage come through from Shopify, and now the wards are going to be huge. If you thought he was tanky before, Ocean Soul Sion, he's going to be invincible.
Yep. I mean, they're both basically up there. It's Bwipo next to this support Leona on the front line. And the support Leona is dying first. Surprise, surprise. Keeps getting bursted down. Now the Infinity Edge also comes in for Massu. So both Quad and Massu, now that Massu has some bigger crits behind him, are really going to be helping work through that. And with the extra sustain here, FlyQuest, they just have such oppressive power.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a callback now, but that earlier pentakill was the first ever Tryndamere pentakill in League of Legends pro play history.
Well, he's definitely having one hell of a game here. Inspired also has the highest farm of any individual player in this game. It's not by a great margin, but he is out-farming both AD carries.
I mean, he is soaking up some of the side waves. This is kind of what I was thinking, you might be doing. This is what you would see if you saw Tryndamere in solo queue. You're paired with a Sion. The Sion can group, can give up some waves. You can pick that up because you scale so well with it. And he hasn't bought in a while. He's sitting on over 2,000 gold again. So next time he goes back to base, it's going to be another completed item.
Full items only. This is real Tryndamere gaming here, brother, and I think he might just have enough to purchase that Guardian Angel. If you thought he's a pain to kill before, now it's even worse. Inspired is in such a great position. There's very few angles for Shopify to take to be able to kill this guy now with how he's been playing the fights, with how he's been waiting and picking his moments. That decision making coming in clutch here, 8-0-0 on the Tryndamere. His individual gold lead is equal to the team's gold lead now, as this is just the Tryndamere show, man.
Alrighty, well, Quad's also about to get a death cap, so the pain is going to continue either way. FlyQuest, full control of the entire rift, so they can continue to take away jungle resources while they push up. 4-1 split push for them. They've got the sign in mid lane, so you're close enough to come over with an ultimate since he doesn't have teleport. So very easy here for FlyQuest to just brute force down this secondary tower first.
And it's hard to even craft a scenario in your head where the Sion dies, right? It's basically like face checking 5 people and then taking quite a while after that at this point. So it's not like you're worried about your one split pusher getting jumped on either. He's just pretty much invincible at this point.
Yep, 227 armor, 169 MR, 4,886 health, 1,423 of that being from Soul Furnace bonus.
An Ocean Soul and a Partridge in a Pear Tree.
Yeah, there's just not a whole lot you can do about it. Also, the unending despair for the additional healing, the Jack Show for the additional multiplication of those resistances. This guy is impossible to deal with. We do have the Baron spawning again now. Elder will be alive here in 3 minutes if the game gets to that point. But if FlyQuest take one more team fight decidedly, they can probably just run it down mid. Contractz tunneling forward with Ishtal's impact, but a good scat of the week comes in from Quad. Now Contractz is in some danger. Massu threw out that ulti the wrong direction, I would have to say, as Contractz continues running away. Inspired spinning in from the side. Fudge is in mini Gnar. He is incredibly vulnerable. FlyQuest just continuing to push forward. Inspired wants the kill onto Xayah's immediately popping the ulti. There's your chicken shout. Everybody's on the run from this Tryndamere. Xayah should be the next one to die. Fudge's Mega Gnar will not do enough, and Bvoy and Contractz are the only 2 left standing.
FlyQuest started that out 4v5 with the Tryndamere split pushing topside, and they make the fight last really long because they have Ocean Soul, because Inspired comes down, and they're just going to be able to walk in now.
There it goes. Tier 3 turret gone. Inhibitor's about to follow. Still 20 seconds on Seos and even longer on Palafox or Fudge. FlyQuest are going to continue their victory push now as Contractz is not tanky enough on this Skarner to survive all the DPS on FlyQuest's side. Inspired spins out of the turret range. He won't even lose the Guardian Angel. Bwipo continues the final push to the enemy fountain. They'll take out Bvoy, they'll take out Shopify, and they'll take this series 3-1.